At 2:17 a.m., someone you don't know is staring at their ceiling, feeling absolutely nothing. Not sadness, not pain, just a strange quiet inside their chest. And here's the unsettling part. Their life is actually going fine. Bills paid, messages answered, goals moving forward. From the outside, everything looks stable, but inside, it feels like something important quietly disappeared. If that sounds familiar, you're not broken. You're experiencing something most people never talk about. The moment when life stops feeling alive, even when nothing is technically wrong. It usually begins subtly. You wake up, go through your routine, complete your tasks, maybe even laugh at something, but the laughter feels lighter than it used to, like it doesn't land fully. Moments pass, but they don't sink in. Experiences happen, but they don't stay. You're present, yet somehow distant from your own life. And that's confusing, because emptiness isn't supposed to show up when things are going well. We're taught that happiness follows stability, that once life becomes safe, organized, predictable, fulfillment should naturally follow. But the human brain doesn't work that way. Your mind is not designed to feel constant satisfaction. It's designed to detect change, meaning, and emotional contrast. When life becomes too steady for too long, your nervous system slowly stops reacting with the same intensity. What once felt exciting becomes normal. What once felt meaningful becomes routine. Not because it lost value, but because your brain adapted. This process is called emotional adaptation. It's the same reason a new phone feels amazing for a week, then just becomes your phone. The same reason achieving a goal feels powerful, then quietly fades into your new baseline. The brain protects energy by reducing emotional response to anything familiar. But here's where it gets deeper. Sometimes emptiness is not caused by what's missing in your life, but by what's missing inside your experience of it. Many people spend years building stability, career, comfort, structure, but slowly disconnect from emotional engagement along the way. You learn to function efficiently, but stop feeling deeply. You become productive, but less present, capable, but less connected, stable, but strangely numb. And numbness is tricky. It doesn't scream for attention like anxiety or sadness. It whispers. It makes life feel flat, muted, distant, like watching your own existence through slightly fogged glass. Another hidden cause is emotional suppression. Over time, many people train themselves not to feel too much, maybe to avoid stress, maybe to stay strong, maybe because vulnerability once felt unsafe. But when you repeatedly push emotions down, you don't just block painful ones, you lower the intensity of all emotions. The brain doesn't selectively mute feelings, it lowers the volume on everything. So joy becomes softer, excitement becomes brief, meaning becomes harder to access, and eventually, emptiness settles in like quiet background noise. There's also something else most people overlook. Humans need psychological movement, not just physical progress. You can be moving forward in life, but not expanding internally. No new perspectives, no emotional risks, no experiences that challenge how you see yourself or the world. Without psychological growth, the mind feels unstimulated, even if life looks successful. And when stimulation drops too low, the brain doesn't interpret it as peace, it interprets it as absence. That's why people sometimes feel strangely empty after achieving what they once desperately wanted. The chase created emotional intensity, the arrival created stillness, and the nervous system, wired for engagement, doesn't know what to do with prolonged emotional quiet. But here is the part that changes everything. Emptiness is not a sign your life has no meaning. It's a signal your mind is asking for reconnection. Not more achievements, not more distractions. Reconnection. Reconnection to sensation, noticing experiences instead of rushing through them. Reconnection to emotional honesty, allowing yourself to feel without controlling it. Reconnection to growth, doing things that stretch your perception, not just your productivity. Because meaning isn't stored in what you have, it's generated by how deeply you experience what is happening. The strange truth is, many people try to fix emptiness by adding more goals, more entertainment, more stimulation. But emptiness rarely disappears by adding noise. It fades when awareness returns. When you fully taste your food instead of multitasking. When you notice your breathing instead of living in mental autopilot. When you engage with someone with half your mind somewhere else. Depth returns, slowly, quietly, but it returns. And maybe the most comforting realization is this: feeling empty doesn't mean something is wrong with your life. It often means your mind has outgrown emotional autopilot and is waiting for you to wake up inside your own experience again. So if life feels strangely hollow lately, don't panic. Don't label yourself ungrateful. Don't assume something is missing forever. Sometimes emptiness is not the end of meaning. It's the pause before you start feeling life more deeply than you ever have before. And the moment you begin paying attention again, truly paying attention, that quiet space inside you doesn't stay empty. It becomes open.